So I don't know what it is about dressing up that makes me feel taller, but I love this feeling. I'm really 4'11", but when I dress up, I feel like I'm 6'2". That's a lie. I'm actually 6'2", but when I dress up, it makes me feel taller. And the reason why I'm dressed up is because we're talking about the elections today. That's another lie because I'm only dressed up because I just came from this amazing event and I'm recording this right after that amazing event. So there you have it. But getting into the elections, I was completely wrong. I honestly thought that Kamala was going to win the electoral vote and Trump was going to win the popular vote. That just didn't happen. I was obliterated with that analogy. And the way things were going yesterday, I thought that I probably could have still been right. Because around 12:30 Central Standard Time, things got a little iffy up there. But I honestly feel like they put those numbers out there to kind of make people feel a certain way, like make them feel a little better, to make it seem like it was a race at that point. I honestly don't think Kamala got those electoral votes as much as they're saying that she got those. Unfortunately, the reason being is because she kind of called it quits earlier in the game when they were reading all the votes. So that's my conspiracy theory for the week. Secondly, I honestly felt like the government just hated Trump so much that they weren't about to allow him back into the office. But honestly, this election should show you a lot. And I'm going to start off by saying this. This administration has done so bad that it flipped a lot of blue states into red states. Not when it comes to electoral, because again, that doesn't really change much. But when it comes to the Senate and I believe the governors, and from the looks of it, I believe the House is about to be all red this time around as far as this election. That's how bad the last administration has done, guys. I just want you guys to look at that. Like, it's not just about the president here. Look at the other things that are going on, because right now this country needs that administration. They feel like that the Democrats did such a terrible job that they need the Republicans to fit this whole bill. They need to flip this whole thing around and go all the way red, which I'm not in agreement with. I feel like there should be some type of balance there, but hey, when you go from one extreme to another, this is what you get. Because this, I'm not going to lie, this has been the worst 4 years of my life. This has been a bad time. Let me sum this up for you. Within the last 4 years, the Democrats haven't given you a reason to vote for them. And I'm not going to put that on Kamala. I feel like that's more of a Biden thing. Unfortunately, Kamala was a part of his administration. So yes, some of the blame goes to her. But within the last 100 and some odd days, they haven't given you a reason to vote for Kamala either. And that's a part of the problem. It's like the only reasons that we're given to vote for a Democratic Party is because supposedly the representative of the Republican Party is the bad guy. And that doesn't help out a lot when it comes to day-to-day type of situations. So we're looking at how life has been with the last 3.5 years or so, right? And we look at, hey, what's going to change? All Kamala had to do to win a lot of people over was make an adjustment while she was running. She could have gave us the tiniest thing and we would have ran with it. She wouldn't have did nothing. She couldn't have did nothing after that, and we would have already chosen to run with it. The problem is none of that happened. I was completely wrong. Like I said, I thought that she was going to get the electoral votes, but in all honesty, just looking back at it, it wouldn't have made any sense. It would have literally just been, we're out to get the other guy. And instead of people looking at, oh, why you should. The problem was they're trying to make it seem like, hey, you should have voted Democrat because the other guy's bad. And instead of looking at life that way, they should have been looking at it as why we should have been voting for them, even if the other guy was good, supposedly. The thing is like both of them were, I'm not going to get into that. Either way, they should have did a better job at selling themselves. Stop trying to put down the enemy and sell yourself. If I work for a movie theater company and I'm putting down another movie theater company, they're going to look at me away. And then they're just going to stop coming to my building because it's like, why is that guy always talking about that other movie theater company? Versus, hey, yeah, they're great with this, but we're going to have this. They don't have this over there. All right, you're selling me now. I'm starting to understand a little bit more. It works out better. Trying to make Trump the enemy was their selling point for the Democratic Party, and unfortunately, fool me once, shame on you. You wasn't going to fool the country twice. Obviously, we knew that 2020 it would have been a better decision to let Trump in at that time and finish what he started. Unfortunately, the Electoral College didn't feel the same way. And what's happening now, like I said, it's the changing of the guards. Like the Republicans have the president, they have the Senate, and I believe they're working towards the House right now, and they have the governors for this election as well. So again, the Democratic Party did so bad in this administration within the last 3.5 years that it flipped everybody the whole other way. Like, for instance, I'm in Chicago. In Illinois, we're a known blue state. But for popular votes, Donald Trump won Illinois. That hasn't happened, and I don't know when. I haven't did my history on it. Call me out if I'm wrong. Please leave it in the comments. But flipping a blue state to a red state off of popular votes, I'm seeing within the next decade or so that it will be possible for Illinois to be a red state. And we need to start looking at those possibilities, because right now, if you live in Illinois, you kind of understand what's going on. It's not the best situation at all. Not saying that the grass is always greener on the other side, but a change is probably time for a change. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I just feel like a lot of people need to start looking at these situations out of logic and not emotion. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to look at things that way, but America's a business. And at the end of the day, this business needs to run well and better than other businesses before it just doesn't succeed anymore. So if we need to hand this business over to a new quote unquote CEO for us to thrive, then of course it's probably time for us to do that. And I feel like the people have spoken. As you can see, the Electoral College has spoken, the popular vote. I feel like we're going in the right direction. We shall see in the next year or so. We'll be talking about this some more, all right? I'll see you guys Monday for Movie Talk Monday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See you next time. Peace.